This is part 13 to Are There Elite Vampires in New York City? 1 through 12 are in my playlist, or you won't understand this. And the playlist is also on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Bree's fears have been settled by Dimitri, and it is time to go to Italy for his sister's wedding. They arrive after their much rest-needed first-class flight, all four of them. And much to the girls' surprise, instead of having a fancy car pick them up, they decided they were going to rent and split a car. These guys are just regular. Now, this is just a depiction of what I see in my head when it's being described. But anyway, so they show up to his grandmother's house, and this is not like a house. This is more like an estate. And he explains to her, and she's like, oh my God. And Kiera's just in awe. I think this is when it really sinks in. Like, they knew that Steven's family and Dimitri's family had ties together, and, you know, they worked together and everything else, and they had money, but not like this. This place in Italy, it completely blew Nantucket and their apartment out of the water. And he explains to her that it survived some war or something, and that it's been in their family for generations, and all kind of stuff. So it's, like, really historical. And she's like, why is it so big for just your grandpa and your grandma? And he was like, well, you know, people that work there also live there. He explains to her, like, the groundskeepers all have their own, like, apartments or suites with their families. Their kids all go to the best schools. Oh my God, Grandma and Grandpa are regular do-gooders. So when they arrive, he was like, would you like to go meet some of the staff? And of course the girls are like, yeah. And she said that everybody was just really warm and bubbly, and that they met one of the old men and his wives, and they lived there. Their son had been killed, I guess, in another war. And they had raised their grandchildren and got to see their suite. Now, this place was like a 2,000 square foot suite, okay? He's just kind of introducing her to everybody, and there's a big swimming pool. You could tell it was fairly new. It did not come originally with the property. They look around the grounds for a little bit, and in front of the house you can tell that other guests are starting to arrive in their luxury sedans. They had this little, she said it was blue, it was like a shoebox, beep beep. But Bree and Kiera don't care. They're loving it. They're loving this. And Dimitri's like, hurry up, let's go pick our rooms, because we don't have these formally laid out. He was like, let's go. And when you walk in, it is sprawling, okay? Like, there are rooms everywhere. You could get lost. And what's so cool is it's like there's like this atrium or something like that on the inside, and there's like these little trees growing in the ground, but like indoors. And then the second part of the house, after you walk past that first part of the house, there's like a breezeway, and there's a house here and a house here, but at the front is all connected. So like there's the front, here's a building in the middle. Past that first initial building, there's a long breezeway with fountains. And they arrived a few days early, so everyone that's going to be catering and helping out with the wedding and everything isn't even on the grounds yet. So Dimitri's halfway at a sprint, and Steven is too, and the girls are like, should we run with you? And he's like, hurry up, let's get our rooms. She said it felt like they were running forever down this breezeway, and they come to the very end on the right side. And lo and behold, Dimitri picks a little cottage that's not even attached to the main house. And this cottage is smaller than the groundkeeper's house, okay? It's like half the size. It's like a 2-bedroom, 1-bed, you know what I'm saying? It's just very small. And there are dust bunnies everywhere, and they go to flick the light, and the light doesn't work. They don't go choose another room. No, he marches right over to go talk to the groundskeeper, and the groundskeeper informs him that they'd had some electrical issues, but they had been resolved, but the lights had been kept off. And he immediately asked Mr. Dimitri if he wanted it cleaned properly, and he was like, no, we'll do it. And the groundskeeper went and got one of the maids or whatever and was instructing her, and he was like, no, we'll do it. We want to clean our own spot. And again, see, he looks like just this normal guy who can't help it that he fell into wealth. And he's like, Brielle, do you want to help me? And she's like, yeah, sure. And she said she swore because the blankets were all in this huge cabinet. They took out the blankets, made the beds, took the plastic off everything, getting all the dust up. And she said the more they cleaned, the more in love she fell. Like, they had already sent Stephen and Kiera off to go enjoy the pool or, the main house or go find them something to eat, whatever the case may be. They spent time together cleaning their little cottage. Just a regular dream come true for her. I mean, she could have spent the rest of her life in that tiny cottage with him on this property forever. Whatever breaker or however they do it over there is back on. They have full power. They're getting it all spick and span for them. Not too clean, but just enough. And one of the things that she loves is the really old stove and refrigerator. It's just charming. After they get done, they find Stephen and Kiera at the pool and tell them to go get dressed. If they're going to be going to town, they're going to go and get some stuff for their little apartment. They have to have their snacks. Brielle said the people at the, supermarket and the markets over there and everything were so nice. Just charming, nice. And one thing she does notice right off the bat when they were cleaning was that there was no TV. Their first night there is pretty uneventful. All the people at the main 3 houses are doing the exact same they are. They're going to the markets. They're, getting their own little supplies. The next morning, they wake up, they eat breakfast, and it's starting to hustle and bustle. Some of the people that are going to be catering and extra staff are starting to show up. They noticed that in the breezeway, there are tiny tables being set up. Well, not really tiny. There were some 4 tops, some 2 tops. Some 6, and some as big as could sit 8. Just plastic tables that have not yet got their cloths on them for the wedding. So they're going to use these in between them too. They eat breakfast inside of their own little cottage, as I said, and then they walk out and all along the pool, because there's a huge pool in between here too, and on either side there's tables set up. And then they notice that everybody's starting to get all of the little, I forget what she called it, they're these metal things that keep everything warm. And in front of each chair at this table, there is a little menu with a little piece of tape to where you can pick up your menu and order for that day for lunch and dinner. Or you can just eat off of the buffet. That's it, buffet. And there is stuff that she has never heard of on these menus, like a few little things she had. But so Dimitri and Steven sit down with her and Kiera, and they're going over every little thing and how good they are and how good this company is that's over there, and they've been working with their family for years, blah, 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 blah. You know the regular run-of-the-mill rundown. And so they pick what they want for their lunch and their dinner, and they go and take it and fold it and put it in their little box. So they make it through lunch, and they decide to go swim in. It's a heated pool, okay, because it was kind of brisk, kind of cool. And all of his cousins start showing up. All of him and his sister's cousins start showing up. And Bree remembers one pair in specific that lived in France that were not friendly. And Dimitri said they probably fought on the entire plane ride over there, okay, and still weren't done yet. She said over the course of the next couple of days, there were people arriving from different places internationally, and she had no idea that Dimitri could speak this many languages. People are steadily showing up, and here come Dimitri's parents. They hadn't been there yet, but they are now. She said that his grandmother and father were really polite toward her, but his mother was kind of standoffish. Made her feel weird. It gave her a weird vibe. That night, they all ended up having formal seating in the main part of the house, and she was surprised that her and Kiera were seated extremely far away from their beaux. Like, it's a good thing they were there together, or they wouldn't have had anybody to talk to and probably couldn't speak the same language. Like, it was a formal dinner. I mean, but of course it is. They're hosting people from all over the world. They end up getting seated next to the cousin from France that was so... He said they were fighting. Dimitri said they were fighting. And she's not seated next to her old man either. He's down there with all the main family and these international guests. And the cousin breaks the silence. And she looks at Brielle and Kiera, who look kind of nervous, and she's like, oh, don't worry. You won't have to sit separate from them every single dinner. And she's like, although I wish I could sit separate from mine all the time. Anyway, they get to talking for a few minutes, and they notice her accent is from somewhere, and she's like, yeah, it's from Chicago. My family and his family. One lives in New York, mine lives in Chicago. And as petty and rude as this girl is, Brielle and Kiera are fascinated with her. She is drama on legs. But anyway, this is getting kind of long. I'll do more parts.